Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. Today's an exciting day because we have a new system update for the Retroid Pocket 5 and also one for the Retroid Pocket Mini if you have one of those, so feel free to check that out too. There are many changes in this update, so I wanted to go through them together with you. So let's look and see what we have. We have a total of 9 updates here, starting with number 1. Resolve the issue of fan rotation stuttering in quiet mode. So that's when you swipe down from the top and change your fan profile to quiet like I have here. Sometimes you might get some weird stuttering. You might get the fan spinning up and slowing down and cycling through those two different modes, and it can be quite annoying to listen to. So I'm glad that they've addressed that bug. Number 2, addressed the issue of rapid battery drain when the battery is at 100%. I have not personally noticed that myself, but I'm glad they've addressed that because that would be really annoying to get sudden battery drain. So another great feature there. Number 3, resolve the issue where performance only improves when a touch event occurs. Once again, I've not experienced that, but you can imagine how annoying that would be that you have to touch the screen to get your performance back. So again, sounds like another positive bug fix there. Number 4, this is the one that excites me. Fix the issue of the system freezing when connecting third-party docks. I actually bought this dock last week in order to make a video. This is a dock made for a Steam Deck. It has a nice little stand on it. You're able to put your device inside, connect this together with a nice little USB cable, but when I connect this to the Retroid Pocket 5, it freezes the device. I'm not able to touch anything and I have to just restart the system. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video where I will be hooking the Retroid Pocket 5 up to an external dock and seeing how it runs on a TV now after these updates. Number 5, address the issue of an app crashing when tapping files received via Bluetooth in the connected devices connection preferences section with Bluetooth turned off. So that sounds like quite a niche bug, but once again, I'm happy they're going through and fixing all these errors that have been reported by users. It's great that Retroid really listened to their customer base, because there are a few other Chinese handheld manufacturers that don't really listen this much. If you know, you know. Number 6, resolve the issue where pressing both the power button and volume down buttons in shutdown mode does not enter fast boot mode. This is one I have experienced. When I was setting up Rocknicks on this device for my Xbox and PS3 videos, by the way, more of those are coming very soon, so watch out for that. You have to hold down a combination of the power button and volume button to launch into fast boot mode, to then flash different operating systems or open different kinds of software. So it's great that they fixed this, because sometimes you'd be sat there holding the buttons down and nothing would happen at all. So I'm really happy that they fixed that bug. Number 7, address the issue where the controller doesn't work after being re-enabled post-reboot when it was previously disabled. I'm not sure if that's relating to the controller built into the device or an external controller. Because it doesn't mention any external controllers, I assume it means this one. I haven't had any issues with the controller built in, but I have had quite a few issues with external controllers, so I would be curious to see if that's improved in any capacity. Here is another big one, and this is one that could save the day for everybody. Default DP resolution is set to 1080p 60 when connecting to a 4K 30 TV monitor. There has been widespread issues with connecting this device to HDMI sources, and it usually comes down to what cable you're using, if you're supplying enough power to the device, and what device you're connecting it to. If you're connecting this to a 1080p device, usually everyone's having a great time. It's running at 60p and it's smooth and lovely. But if you're connecting to a 4K TV, there have been so many issues shared by the community. I read so many messages in my Discord about endless problems connecting this to a TV. And in my case too, depending on what kind of device I use, some of them connect very nicely to 4K TVs, and some of them are just absolutely horrible. So after updating this today, I think it's a great time to test out connecting this to external monitors. So expect a follow-up in-depth video on that very soon. And finally, added 4GB swap memory support. I'm not 100% sure how that will be utilized on the Retroid Pocket 5, but I do know in many devices, swap memory is basically allocating the internal storage as RAM. So you're able to use some of the internal storage space as extra RAM to get more performance in your games. So if we're now able to use 4GB of the internal storage as 4GB of extra RAM, we could start to see some performance increases among games. So I'm really excited for that and hope it works well. So after reading through all the updates and deciding that you want to install the updates, let's hit that update button and it will seem like nothing is happening whatsoever. There's no notification, there's absolutely nothing going on right now. So what we can do is scroll down from the top and head into the settings. Scroll down to System, scroll down once again to Retroid Pocket FOTA, and from this menu we should be able to update successfully. So let's choose the download button in the middle, and now click to update. We'll just set this aside for a moment and let it continue updating. After it's finally downloaded, and it might hang at certain moments, mine got stuck around 86% for a while, don't worry about it, just give it some time to finish, and after it is all done, you will get this nice little tip. The system upgrade is completed. Does the immediate restart take effect? Which is a very odd question, but let's just say, okay, it will now restart and update the system. So I'm really curious to see if it's now going to work with my external dock, the one that was crashing it just yesterday, and if we get a nice fluid frame rate on my 4K TV. As that issue when connecting the USB-C to an HDMI is probably the biggest problem I've seen with this device so far, and the one that I believe needed addressed the most. We have power, we're back into our operating system. If you swipe down from the top of the screen, you'll have a little notification here that it's finishing the update. That's now completed, and you now get this nice upgrade success message, letting you know that it's upgraded, and once again, just reminding you of what the upgrades are. So let's push OK, and now feel free to jump back into your favorite games. I'm now going to enable that 4 GB of swap memory, bringing us up to a total of 10 GB of RAM. So let's jump into the settings and enable that feature. I will test it over the next few days and let you know how my experience was. So if you don't feel comfortable testing it yourself, just wait a few days for me to share my experiences with you. If you would like to set it up yourself, you can follow along with me here by coming down to the settings, scrolling all the way down to handheld settings. We then need to go down to the advanced settings, and here we have virtual RAM swap. So let's turn that on and create 4 GB of swap memory. In my own experiences in the past, I found swap memory is very helpful for boosting performance, but there are some instances where it can actually degrade performance as well. So again, try this if you wish, and if you don't really want to try it yourself, wait a few days for me to share my experience with you. Now let's try out this dock and see if it works on the TV. As it's made for the Steam Deck, you do actually need to put the Retroid Pocket 5 in upside down because the Steam Deck's USB-C port is on the top. So usually you'd put the Steam Deck like this, but the Retroid Pocket 5 has to go upside down, but it's all good, it's firmly in there. So let's connect this now up to my TV. Oh. So in the past, when I connected the cable to the dock, and I then put this USB-C cable into the Retroid Pocket 5, it immediately crashed the device. So let's now test it by putting in the cable, and let's see. Yes, we still have movement, so that is definitely an upgrade there. Let's now put it into the dock, connect this up to the TV, and see if it works. As you can see, it's now working perfectly. So I've connected this 8BitDo SN30 Pro controller, and let's see if we can play some games, because I'm also curious to check the latency. As you can hear, the sound is coming out of the TV, no problems, and I'm jumping into an Android game of Stumble Guys here, just to test if the controller's working and if I feel any latency while I play. So I am feeling a little bit of latency, but it's not too bad. Controller latency has been a bit of a pain point on the Retroid Pocket 5 so far, but as I'm moving the controller, hopefully you can see this because I can't see the screen right now, it's not too bad, and I'm able to jump over these obstacles pretty fine. And in fact, I even won the first round. So it's good enough that you can win a game of Stumble Guys, but let's just progress to the next 2 rounds and see how well I do. This is my test of the controller here. I will say I definitely do feel a bit of lag. When I push the jump button, it's not quite as instant as it is on the Retroid Pocket 5 itself. There is a slightly noticeable bit of a latency, but it's definitely not anything too terrible. It is milliseconds rather than seconds. Oh, let's go! I picked this game as a test of latency because it's one where you really need to jump at the right time in order to win the race. Oh, and we've won round 2 as well, so it is looking very playable for sure with the new settings. And again, I will make a more in-depth video about hooking up your Retroid Pocket 5 to the TV like this. You can actually check, I've made 2 videos on this topic already, but now with these new updates, it's running much better than before. So I think we are due an update video. This will be the final test of latency, because this one you really have to time your jumps over the lasers really well. And I will say I'm actually pretty bad at this round. So with latency, it's going to be impossible. If you're playing a game where latency is imperative, maybe you like those old Mario games where you really want to time everything perfectly, I do think this latency is going to be too much for that situation. But for any casual game, this is going to be absolutely fine. If you want to play 2-player co-op with your friends or family, it's going to be pretty great on here. But as I said, I will make a follow-up, far more in-depth video on this topic, so watch out for that. Oh, these guys are really good. Oh. Unfortunately, Adinda Faz was too good, but I hope this shows that you can absolutely now hook up any third-party dock and get it working on the Retroid Pocket 5. And once again, check out my updated video on this topic coming soon. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please give me a like and subscribe if you didn't already. We're really close to 7,000, so that would be amazing to hit that tonight. If you'd like to buy your own Retroid Pocket 5, check out the official Retroid website with my affiliate link in the description. That's the same place I bought this one. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. Ow.